What is good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. The movie I'm reviewing today was recommended by Christine C and is currently available for streaming on AMC Plus, or again, you can do what I did and sign up for the little free trial on Amazon Prime. There will be some spoilers in this video, so just be forewarned, but nothing. I think they'll really enjoy this movie. This is a movie that's not really going to be ruined by any spoilers. The spoiler is kind of given away in the title. Teen Wolf is directed by Rod Daniel and stars Michael J. Fox. This is an 80s teen comedy, and it is basically a story about the dangers of popularity and not being yourself to fit in or kind of up your social status, get the hot girl, and it's done through a teenager, Scott. So when I talk about Scott during this review, I'm not talking about myself. When he turns into a wolf, his family has a curse where they turn into a werewolf. There's a funny scene where when he goes full on wolf and his dad reveals to him, yeah, this is just something that happens to our family. A little funny scene. But anyway, so he's totally scared of this. He's totally embarrassed by it. And it taps into him at the worst time. Now, Scott, just to give you a preface of the character, he's kind of just a regular guy. This is so weird talking about Scott. It's kind of similar a little bit, because I'm going to talk about my own little story. But he's just a regular guy. You know, he's a decent player on a terrible basketball team. He has a cute girl that's into him that he's friends with, but it's not good enough. He wants the hotter girl. He has friends, but he wants the more popular friends. So when he taps into the wolf mode, it's during a basketball game, and he's at first totally embarrassed, but then his confidence goes through the roof and his basketball abilities get better. It feels like anything of being worried about what people are thinking about you goes away, and he just taps into his basketball ability. Team starts winning. He's good at everything. The hot girl's into him. All that stuff. And everybody just wants to see the wolf. The wolf becomes like a trend around the town. It's like it takes place in a small town in Nebraska. So it's just weird. Everybody's just super everybody's like weird about it right away. And then they're, oh, super, okay, cool. Whatever, super accepting of it. But he starts to realize he's getting all these friends and everything. And the girl that don't really like him. They don't really like him for him. And the people that actually like Scott are like, you know, we miss Scott. Where is he? And they just want to see the wolf. So it becomes a big popularity trend. Many little 80s scenes in there where he gets dressed up in the white suit and goes to prom, you know, all that. And he's just not being himself is the main thing. But thankfully he realizes it. I won't really spoil the ending, but you know, you could probably figure out where it's going. It's a fun little movie. What I liked about the movie, I love the 80s-ness of it. There's different kinds of 80s movies. There's your 80s movies where you got kind of the dark, the goth, I would call it like The Cure. It's to use a band as a reference type movies where it's a little bit more like a Lost Boys type thing, you know what I mean? And you got your movies like this is like it's a John Hughes-ish movie. It's not a John Hughes movie, but it's a John Hughes-ish movie where it's, you know, it's about a teen going through at that time in his life. I love his friend Styles is a great character in the movie. His t-shirts are hilarious. His dad is good. It's just a fun little movie, and it was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. The themes are deeper than I thought, so I was very cool with that. I was very surprised by it. I think I watched this movie a while ago when I was a kid with my dad. I think he rented it because I would spend like weekends with my dad when I was younger. After my parents got divorced, but so I kind of vaguely remember it, but it was cool to watch. I thought it was just gonna be like a silly 80s movie, which it was. The people, I mean, anybody who grew up in the 80s, did you guys stand on your cars and like car surf? Was that a thing? Because that's in the movie. But yeah, a little cool little movie, nothing too much to, you know, a little bit deeper than I thought, but you know, a typical 80s comedy. What I didn't like I mean, anything I don't like, it's kind of in context of the movie, but I do have to, I'll bring it up anyway. I didn't really like the basketball scenes. It's clear that Michael J. Fox has no athletic ability. It's pretty apparent. You know, they never actually show him shooting a shot and the ball going in. It's just a cut, always a cut to the basket and the ball going in all the basketball scenes. His dribbling, his handle is terrible, even while he's the Wolf. It's clear that people are just decide not to play defense so he can be the Wolf and tap into his athletic, all of a sudden athletic ability. Soundtrack I'm neutral on. It was, you know, had your 80s synth music, more poppy 80s music, you know, that type of vibe. I kind of like the darker 80s stuff, like Echo and the Bunnymen, The Cure, Joy Division. That's my 80s style. That's the music I, but it was decent. I like the music was okay. I'm neutral on it. It fit for the context of the movie. But yeah, just to get back, tell a little my own story in relation to what I thought about while I was watching the movie is, you know, when I went to college, I lived on campus. And I didn't really have to live on campus, but I kind of wanted to get out of the house. And this was a time in my life where I was just like, I want to hang out with the popular kids. You know, nobody really knows me here. I mean, I knew a couple people from my high school that went to my college. Nobody really knows me here. I know how to maneuver myself into the popular crowd. And for some reason, I just decided I wanted to do that. In high school, I was perfectly content with my group of friends. All that worked fine. But college, I decided to do that. And once I got in there, I realized it wasn't for me. Because they didn't really like me. They liked me for whatever fakeness I was kind of putting on. Kind of they liked me for me, but like some things we had in common, some music stuff. But for the most part, we'd be at parties and I would just be like, this music is terrible. I'm the type of guy, I'd be at the party or whatever, and you know, somebody will say something that's totally not meant to be funny. It's kind of like they think they're being serious or deep, and I just crack up because I realize how stupid they sound, and I will laugh, and I'm the only one laughing, or there might be one other person laughing, which we always make a connection, and it would just always be uncomfortable. Or I would say something when somebody would be like taking themselves too seriously, or you know, oh my gosh, in my life, and they'd be talking about like movies that are just not good. They watched terrible movies. Their music was it was all like, you know, sex, drugs, that type of music. You know, no poetry, no depth, no musical. It's just the repeated drum loop. You know, club music. That type of garbage. And I was just like, yeah, this isn't for me. But thankfully, I still kept in contact with my original friends, so the ties remained. I think they were a little bit upset I wasn't hanging as much, but you know, since they were my true friends, you know, everything just repaired itself naturally. But yeah, you weren't being yourself, so I totally thought about myself with that. I went through like a year and change of that, and I think it's a period in life a lot of people go through where they like, you know, let me feel what it's like to be in the popular crowd. And then you realize the people that are in the popular crowd aren't even being themselves anyway. They're putting on a facade themselves. Because, I mean, when I go in a room, I'm reading people. I can see when people are being fake, when they're not being themselves, not being real. And it's just, you know, you're sitting there and you're just like, nobody else sees that these people are full. But no, and they don't. But you know, it was an experience to have. Yeah, this movie taps into all those themes and the dangers of not being yourself. So, you know, be grateful for the friends that you have, for the people that do appreciate you for you, and just lock into them. That's the thing. Unfortunately, just saying that isn't really going to do it. People that want to go out and try to be popular are going to try to go out and be popular. That just is what it is. There's no getting around that. I can sit here and say it, but you're gonna do it anyway. But it's one of those things in life you just have to learn the hard way. Just tread carefully. Just, you know, don't do anything dangerous or that's gonna compromise your safety or your life. Just tread carefully, that's all I would say. But yeah, it's a lot deeper movie than I thought it would be, and I had a fun time with it. Not too long. Nice little 80s comedy. You know, I would probably rewatch this if I was just looking to just zone out and just have like a relaxing light evening. But yeah, thank you for the recommendation, Christine. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you guys for taking a few minutes to join me today. I greatly appreciate your time. Hope y'all take care, be well, and have a great rest of your day.